Olá, como vão todos? Espero que vocês estejam otimamente bem. Deixa eu arrumar aqui. E que tenham um excelente... Sorry if this live is in English. I hope you are so good with God and good dots in your life. Okay? And today I will read about Ramatis, physiology of the soul, about meat, eat or not red meat, and other meats too. In last time, let me see where we stop to read this matter. And the last words were how much meat of pigs we will must eat to stop to this. Is this? Let me see, but this here. Let me see where is, yes, I saw here. I see. The next question is, these efficient and extremely fast methods of execution in the slaughtering process that takes place in slaughterhouses and meat processing plants, modern methods avoid the prolonged suffering that was common in the old time of slaughter. Isn't that true? Ramatis, the spirit, answered to question from medium Ercílio in this book. Physiology of the soul about eat meat. We believe that the aesthetic sense of divinity will always prefer the humble hut that shelters that friendly animal to the rich slaughterhouse that kills under the advanced scientific method of the funeral industry. Okay, is this what Ramatis have his conclusion? Continue. The celestial regions are places adorned with lights, flowers, and colors, where the generous dots and loving feelings of their Christified humanities are united. These regions will also be reached one day, even by those who built the green refrigerators and the slaughterhouse with advanced equipment, but who will not escape returning to earth to fulfill within themselves the redemption of the depravities and disturbances inflicted on the evolutionary cycle of animals. I read the other day in Spirit's book, Spirit said the same. You can eat certain animals, not all. Not all. God permits this, but you must accept the cycle of evolution energy of this animal. For example, why use a baby cow to make food with this? He tiring from the cow, his baby. You don't let nor this animal grow. What is this? Is this to the reference? And eat animals, so strange how how I forgot the name. I really remember. But strange animals are being dead only to satisfy a futile pleasure without necessity to survive is the question. Frogs. I knew a person that ever was make catch frogs to eat. Not frog, but the female from frogs. I don't understand this. I never eat this type. In others that we capivara, carne de capivara no Brasil, carne de tatu. Please, what is this? Other types so strange that monkeys, please. The celestial region, I read, the regions will also be reached one day even by those who build the green refrigerators and slaughterhouse with advanced equipment of the depravities and disturbance inflicted on the evolutionary cycle of animals. The efficient methods of scientific disturbance of slaughter, even if they lessen the animal suffering, don't exempt man from the responsibility of having prematurely destroyed living beings, to extinguish them, except when they pose a danger to human life, which is a more evolved mechanism in the order of creation. To extinguish a race, animal race, only God have this power and right, of course. But we must we human beings must help in control the balance from nature and animals and society necessities. Without destroying nature, nor, of course, nature destroying society. What happened is society try to destroy nature. The human being have obligation to maintain this balance. And human being will be asked by universe when human being gone to spiritual plane. No one will run from this. No one. Question. Your somewhat vivid assertions surprise us. Many people still don't understand that this serious impropriety of carnivorous eating causes such terrible consequences. Is it really so? The answer: the angel, already freed from the cycles of reincarnation, is always a type of supreme spiritual delicacy. Its diaphanous and beautiful texture and its ineffable song to human hearts are not products of the aggressive and sickly fluids of foie gras pâté, paste of hypertrophied liver, the infamous tripe in brown sauce, or the albuminous repast of smoked bacon. The inferior astral substance that exudes from the animal's flesh penetrates the aura of human beings and thickens their natural transparency, hindering the high flights of the spirit. You will never solve such an important problem with the sweet illusion of ignoring the reality of the error of carnivorous nutrition. And perhaps it will be too late for the desired solution. For example, you acquired a cancer. We present to you what must be urgently meditated upon and evaluated, because the times have arrived, and there is no subversion in the sidereal mechanism. It's necessary that you understand as soon as possible that the perispiritual vehicle is a powerful magnet that attracts. Perispirit is the body of spirit. This is a body of the perispirit. Perispirit is the body of the soul. Okay? We have this body, that our body of soul, and perispirit is a second and first body of the soul. So next to the soul. Perispirit function how a magnet that attracts and aggregates the deleterious emanations of the lower world when you persist in the vibratory bands of animal passions. It's necessary that you always seek what is attuned to the highest states of the spirit, not forgetting that moral nourishment also harmonizes with the aesthetic of physical taste. In In truth, why those green blood-stained vehicles run your city streets, emptying their bloody contents into the frigid butcher stops and serving the hungry Kiwis seeking meat? Many more incarnations will be needed for your humanity to rid itself of the psychic slippage that will always require therapy for ulcers. What is this? Therapy for ulcers, cirrhosis of the liver, nephritis, arthritis, heart attacks, diabetes, tapeworms, amoebas, and uremia. All this is named by this spirit how? Therapy from ulcers. Because only by the suffering so deep, certain type of souls will modify his taste from this body. Question. It's not taste of body, it's taste of the soul. Eat animals, meat of animals, and street men linked with our past coming from animal world. Instincts is still so much primitives, and we must turn this better. Question. Why do you consider man inferior to the savage in his carnivorous diet if he uses efficient processes aimed at avoiding the animals suffering during slaughter? Don't you agree that man also fulfills his need to live and submits to a nutritional imperative that requires industrial organization? It's a question from Ercilio Maes. And Ramatis answered, the savage, though fierce and instinctive, consumes meat solely for the need of nutrition, without transforming it into a pretext of banquets and libations of a refined nature. Among the civilized, however, the same appetites of the savage are revived, but paradoxically in a more demanding way, serving as a pretext for nights of pleasure under the dazzling lights of luxurious modern hotels and restaurants. Noisy, cheerful creatures who, proclaiming the possession of a brilliant intellect, devour at festive tables the corpses of animals, seasoned with exciting spices, while the famous orchestra plays melodies that harmonize with the aromas of charred meat of steaming stew. But know that the poetic and suggestive names of the dishes displayed on refined menus don't free man from the consequences and responsibility of devouring the entails of his inferior brother. Despite the culinary flourishes at the menu of sui generis iguanas, which attempted to soften the repugnant aspect of the victual in bloody dishes. Carnivorous man cannot hide the reality of unrestrained human appetite. Here, the designation of house-style tribe merely disguises to the repulsive stew of ox's stomach. There, the suggestive breeded children are just scraps of gallbladders and liver, betraying the bitter taste of animal being. Over there, the appetizing kidneys on a skewer cannot sublimate their nature as excretory organs of albumin and urea, which still stagnate under the deadly cleaver. Although one may want to praise the culinary master's effort, the European style tripe stew is nothing more than a viscous porridge of lubrication oil from slaughtered oxen. The American style cold cuts are nothing more than bloody veal, and the complete feijoada in Brazil is merely a nauseating swamp of cooked debris in the filth of blackened sausage, pig's feet, skin, and refined scraps, all mixed with a urea of greasy lard. It's evident that one should excuse the ignorant native who still subjugates himself to carnivorous nutrition and perverts his palate because his backward soul ignores the sum of admirable reasoning that the civilized are already given to wield in the scientific, artistic, religious, and moral spheres, while the gargantuan banquets of the Roman Caesars mark the decadence of a civilization. The figure of Gandhi, sustained on goat's milk, is always an incentive for the creation of a better world. Question: should we perhaps violate our physical organism? Only a moment, please. Let me see. Should we perhaps violate our physical organism, which has been conditioned for millennia to the consumption of meat? Certain that nature doesn't make leaps and cannot suddenly adapt to vegetarianism, we consider any radical modifications in the sense to be dangerous. Our carnivorous nutritional process is already a millennia-old biological automatism which would require several centuries for such an unusual adaptation. What are your considerations in this regard? Is a question from Lydia Ercílio Maes. Answer: we don't suggest organic violence for those who could not yet withstand this dramatic modification. It's dangerous. I will stop to eat meat. It's not this way. Don't function this way. For them, we advise gradual adaptation from a diet of pork to beef, from beef to poultry, and from poultry to fish and to fish and shellfish. After a disciplined exercise in which the imagination is cleansed and the will eliminates the burning desire to ingest the bloody remains, we are certain that the organism will be able to adjust to a new nutrition method of a spiritual praise. But it's clear that all this requires a start. And if you don't make the initial effort that you will have to face elsewhere, it's obvious that both this much vaunted, the initial effort that we'll have to face elsewhere, it's obvious that both this much vaunted biological conditioning and the natural difficulty for a faster adaptation will persist. But it's useless to seek subterfuges. But it's useless to seek subterfuges to justify your primitive diet, which is already inadequate to the new spiritual nature. It's the time to cleanse yourself so that you can adopt a new dietary pattern. Undoubtedly, success will not be achieved in the way you replace the fuel in your vehicles. It's not the same, of course. You change achieve the way you replace the fuel in your vehicles. First of all, your soul will have to vigorously participate in an exercise to first eliminate from the mind the desire to eat meat. Many determined souls who already commanded their physical body and submit it to the will of spiritual consciousness have violated this physical body and have violated this biological automatism of meat nutrition. Many determined souls who already commanded their physical body and submit it to will of the spiritual consciousness have violated this biological automatism of meat nutrition. In the same way, the some being extinguish the vice of smoking with a single impulse of will. You are also conditioned by the vices of intrigue, anger, rage, jealousy, cruelty, lying, and lust. However, many are suddenly freed from these afflictions through Herculean evangelical efforts, and recognizing the weakness of the human soul for sudden liberations, and preparing your physically to repudiate the flesh. We have sought to influence the mechanism of your appetite, giving you advice bluntly and ostent, ostentatiously, so that you may more easily free yourselves from the exotic desires for roasts and stews, which in reality are nothing but scraps and corpses that should inspire nausea and digestive aversion in you. Hence, our systematic concerns for the sake of your spiritual well-being, so that when faced, for example, with the sign of tasty, tripe redolent with fragrant sauce, you may recognize in truth the green cartilages that protect the bronchopulmonary region of the ox, where the most repugnant exchanges of corrupted matter take place. Then I will stop here to you start to think in the possibility you will start to change a meat or a flesh so hard to flesh more sweet, without so hard to stomach make digestion. Doctors in medicine are warn us about incidents, great grow of incidents of cancer in community. And they realize that who eat so much quantity of meat for a week have more tendency to acquire a cancer. Another seeks about I forgot the name now. I don't know where is this word, but the suffering in not ulcers, but stomach and all these places, that suffering to make a digestion of eat meat all day. Then we must sink this. We must make substitution of other how to say this, my God, vegetables, other proteins, in soja, in Portuguese is the name, in soja, think about substitute by soja, and other places that have protein. In vegetables have protein too. Have what have in farinha branca. I forgot the name in English. All this can be changed in our food and who have so much difficulty, think about that your body necessitates more less less size and less heart mechanism cause so great quantity of oil in your body. It's not oil, but similar an oil. We must let our body more without this strong size that difficult your digestion, your organism inside will be don't will be this way with less space to spend because your oil and body make a pressure in the organism and elevate the circulation of blood and cause a lot of problems, sometimes taking you to death. We can have more health without eating wrong food. I started to stop eat meat since I have 50. Cause compassion to the animals. I love it, animals so much. And never have animals in my house, house dogs and cats, a lot of cats. Then it developed in us the compassion from these brothers in other level of growing. What right we have to make so short the developing in animals, the spiritual energy in animals evolved too. But if we will that this animal, how is a baby, how is a teenager, same a teenager age, we are stopping this evolution in this animal. And not all animals, human beings, are free to that. To eat, no. Some animals only are to this. The great majority, no. They must have an evolution from this energy. Animal energy must evolve too, okay? Thinking all this isn't recommended, stop it. Now I stopped with this type of food, no. You must pass the pig to cow, the cow to chicken, the cow to chicken, the chicken to fish and mollusks. Is this. And in your rhythm you make this. In your adaptation of your body. I don't know how much type you be in all these types of meat. I don't know. You will see with together with your doctor to this and see how your body return the health or not to you. We don't are recommended stop now, but start to think in this. This is the actually test, this recommend only this. Think about it, okay? And God let you a great night, and you and your evolution, my desire that you grow in your capability to dots and take this, turn better your life in this planet, starting ever to think about detachment, evit great detachment in these things that will pass, and we never pass it. We ever continue living in other dimension, okay? God bless all and give to all of you certain concepts about our food and transform this to give comfort to our body, give comfort to our soul. God bless all. Thank you, your company. Thank you, your attention. And God bless all until the other live. Okay? God bless all.